Hello everyone, my name is Angel and this is Bakers. Today I want to show you how to make donuts. I mean, how better can this be? You are going to make your own donuts. You're basically at the same point that Krispy Kremes. I'm kidding. No, but seriously, you are going to make your own donuts. It's not as hard as it sounds. It's not impossible. You can do this at your home with just a pot, with some oil, fry them, or even if you don't want to fry donuts and you want to do it a little bit more healthy, we could say, you can actually do this in an oven, okay? But it's some other recipe. The flavor is not going to be the same. I would not recommend it because you're still putting sugar and things that you should not if you want to be healthy. You know what I mean? And I would suggest for you to go ahead until the end and just fry donuts.
These are the ingredients we are going to need: flour, cornstarch, butter. Then we are going to need sugar, yeast, salt, 2 eggs, water, and I forgot to put it, but vanilla. Mix the yeast with the water and put it into the blender. Add the sugar, the vanilla, the full eggs, and the butter. You gotta make sure that the butter is room temperature. It's just more convenient. By the art of magic, the mix has already been blended. To the flour, add the cornstarch and mix it just a little bit with a spoon. Add the blended liquid to the dry mix and start mixing it all together. Whenever you see that it's hard to do it with a spatula or a spoon, start using your hands by incorporating all of the ingredients. Whenever you see that it's pretty much in shape of a dough, start kneading it into the counter. Try not to use more flour, otherwise it's going to be super dry. This is the moment where you want to add the salt. We do this so the salt does not interfere with the proofing of our dough. Okay, remember, salt does not go with the yeast. Oil a bowl, put the dough in it, and let it proof. Guys, remember that the ingredients are going to be in the description below with the amounts. And as well, remember that if you want to help the channel and subscribe, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. We're going to proof our dough for 90 minutes. This is where basically all of the flavor of the dough is going to be developed, so do not skip that step, okay? Now is the time where you want to flour your work surface, put the dough in it, and stretch it with the rolling pin. Remember that first we have to degas the dough, so no bubbles get into the surface. Remember that we are going to make a shape of a rectangle or a square, okay? So ideally we are going to stretch it into this shape. Now I got a confession to make, and that is that I really stretch the dough a lot. So please do not leave your dough as thin as I did, because otherwise you're going to get really thin donuts and nobody likes that. Flour your cutter or the mold that you're going to use to cut your donuts. This has to be really well and properly floured, otherwise the dough is going to stick and it's going to be a mess. So try to do this as best as you can. Since I did not have like a cutter for this, I just used like a little plate and then I cut it with a really sharp knife. Guys, this has to be really sharp, otherwise it's going to be super hard to cut. You have to do this with all of the donuts, okay? It's going to be a remaining or a leftover of dough. Don't worry, you're going to put all of that together and then you're going to stretch it again with the rolling pin so you can get like about 2 or 3 more donuts. Once you get all of your circles of dough, you are going to do the center of the dough, like the hole in the center. For this, you're going to use like a lid of the bottle. With the lid of a bottle, we are going to flour these exactly in the same way that we flour our last plate, our last bowl, and we are going to do exactly the same that we did before. Once all of your donuts are ready, if you want, you can put them into an oil tray so they can proof easily. Cover it with a plastic or with a clean towel and let it proof for about 30 minutes. While we are waiting, we can make our toppings. We are going to start with the chocolate one. Put the milk cream into a pot, start for the boiling time, add the chocolate chips or the chocolate drops, add a little bit of instant coffee, and start mixing. After a while, put this into a bowl and let it rest. We are going to do now the glazed. For this, we are going to need milk, powdered sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. Remember, if you can find the vanilla extract that has no color, it'll be perfect for this recipe, because if you add the normal one, that is the only one that I could find, the glaze is going to be a little bit dark. Guys, it's super important that whenever we are making the glaze, the donuts has practically done frying or done proving, okay? If you are like me and you do not have a big pot to fry them, I will recommend for you to wait until the donuts are fried so you can do this. Now, ideally, you would want to add the glaze to the donuts when this is hot or warm. You do not want this to be chilled, you do not want this to be cold. Now guys, it is time to fry the donuts. This is the point where most of the people get scared or even messed up because of the oil is not hot enough, or the oil is too hot and the donut end up getting raw on the inside but too crispy on the outside, and nobody likes that, okay? So ideally you would like this to be in 180 Celsius degrees. Put the dough in it and cover it for 1 minute exactly. What this is going to make is that it's going to make the donut so much fluffier. Then turn it around and let the another side to cook. Guys, you want this to be a little bit golden brown. You do not want this to be super dark, okay? Do this with all of the donuts until you have no remaining left. Now it's time to add the toppings. As you can see, the glaze is super hard or super difficult to handle right now, so I'm going to use a spatula to help me with this. With as many donuts you want with the glaze, and after that we are going to start making our chocolate donuts. As you can see, there is a huge difference between the chocolate topping and the glaze. Handling the chocolate is super easier than handling the glaze. After you're done putting the topping chocolate, you can use a little bit of chopped peanuts to put into the top. Exactly as the same as I did. Or if you want, you can use coconut, as I'm doing right now. It's up to you guys, it's up to your imagination. If you like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to give it a thumbs up or comment this, or even if you want, make sure to share this with your friends.